Welcome to Basically a Therapist, but without the degree. I am your host, Lauren Larson, and you are here with me in episode 34. Do you ever feel like your marriage is stale or boring? Or do you feel like every day kind of looks the same? Let me tell you why. It's because you've become too comfortable. We often get caught up in our daily routines. Life gets hard, it gets stressful. We don't have the energy, the kids. There's just so many reasons. And while, yes, there are seasons where our marriage isn't what it used to be, and it's a struggle to maybe just get a hug and a kiss in some days, it shouldn't ever stay that way. And it may mean that there are some things that just need to be reprioritized. Just because we're married doesn't mean we go into roommate mode. You should never, and I do mean never, capitalize, underscore, bold, never stop pursuing your spouse. If you're 1 week into your marriage, if you're 1 year, 10 years, 20, 30, whatever that is for you, always pursue and always date. It doesn't stop when you get married. That's actually when you're just getting started. So here's why it's important to pursue your spouse. Number one, it just strengthens that connection. It builds that intimacy with them. It helps you, and it helps your spouse just deepen the relationship and creating emotional intimacy and a strong foundation for your relationship. It's showing your spouse that they're still a priority and that they're important to you, that you want to go after them, that you want to pursue them. And it gives you time to connect and catch up on things and really find out where they're at emotionally and mentally, like how they're doing. Like, when's the last time you've checked in on your spouse's emotional and mental well-being? When's the last time that you've sat down and said, like, hey, how are you doing? Like, really, not just a, hey, how are you doing? How was your day? Good, good. Start dinner, get the kids ready for bed. But like, when's the last time you actually sat down and looked them in the eyes and asked them, like, hey, how are you? Where are you at right now? What's going on with you? That's powerful. And if there's a reason why you're avoiding that, it's time to sit down and ask yourself some questions and figure out why it is that you are avoiding that. Because they need that connection. They need to know that you care about what's going on in their world too. Pursuing your spouse is also important because it keeps the romance and the passion alive. It's really easy for passion and romance to kind of fade away after a while, especially when real life starts happening after the wedding day, And so when you're continuing to pursue your spouse, it prevents your relationship from becoming stale. And I have some date night ideas after this that I can't wait to get into, because I feel like there's just a lot of new and refreshing ways that you can approach date night or approach just keeping your marriage fresh. It also shows commitment and dedication, because actively pursuing your spouse demonstrates your love, your attention, your commitment. And it just really, it says more to your spouse than just the act of going on a date. It shows that you are still interested, that you still want them, that you're still in love with them, that they're still important to you. And that's powerful. That goes such a long way in a marriage. It also builds a sense of security and trust, reassuring your spouse that you value them, like you value their company, you value your relationship, you value your commitment. Those are huge things in relationship. Another reason why pursuing your spouse is so important is it enhances your communication. Like when you're constantly pursuing them, it involves communication. It involves conflict resolution and understanding each other's perspective. And if you don't resolve conflict well, or if you shy away from conflict, if you're avoidant, Go back through the videos or the episodes and listen to some of the episodes that I have posted about conflict resolution, because it is so important to look at conflict as an intimacy builder. It's not negative. It's the negative connotation that we put on conflict, but conflict itself is not negative. It's not bad. It's how we approach it. It's how we handle it that makes it good or bad. And so the more that we can get ahead of it, or, directly like grab it by its head and just approach it head on, like that's important. That's going to be a game changer in your marriage too. And it's also important because it ensures that both partners are emotionally available and responsive to each other. Like when you're on a date, like you are locked in, you're connected, phones away. Pursuing your spouse also, obviously, it prevents complacency because you have to put in active effort to pursue your spouse. It prevents complacency, and it shows that relationship is a priority because it requires your intentionality. It requires you actively engaging and thinking and planning. And let me just say, this doesn't just fall on one of the partners. Like, it is the responsibility of both husband and wife to absolutely put in the effort and to pursue. And this obviously will build a stronger bond because you're engaging in shared activities, you're creating memories through experiences. Pursuing your spouse also improves physical intimacy. Like when you're being pursued, it often leads to just an increased desire to show physical affection. I know for me, when my husband puts in the effort to take me out on a date, when he puts in the effort to plan something or pursue me, even if it's not on a date, like even just in day to day, like if he's texting me or whatever it is, if I feel pursued, I am much more willing to show physical affection, even though physical touch isn't necessarily my love language. Not necessarily, it's just not my love language, period. I want to do it because I feel loved. It's like I feel like my cup is so full that I can like overflow and give to him what he needs. Not that it's just about getting what I need at all times. However, it does make it easier. And also, it shouldn't mean that you pursue your spouse to get something out of it too. Like, we're not pursuing our spouse to make sure that we get physical intimacy at the end of the night, or we get whatever it is that we're wanting at the end of the night or whatever. Like, we're doing it to create a connection. We're doing it to strengthen the bond. We're doing it to strengthen the marriage. There's no like outside factor to it. Like, we're not trying to just get something out of it. This is a really important part. Pursuing your spouse, especially if you are somebody that has kids, is so important because it sets a positive example. Like, you are teaching your kids how to be in a marriage. Like, they get to see what marriage is through your marriage. And so you are teaching your kids to pursue. You're teaching your kids how to communicate. You're teaching your kids how to prioritize family. You are setting the standard on what healthy looks like for your kids. And this is where they base their marriage off of. Like, their relationships will be based off of what they see in the home between their parents. It is so important that kids see their parents pursuing each other, that they see you all kissing, hugging, touching, talking, connecting, even resolving conflict in front of each other. Like, let them see how to resolve conflict in a healthy way. Like, you don't need to share all the details in front of the kids, but it's important that they see how you are handling conflict with one another. That's important. That's where they're going to learn how to handle conflict. And if you're somebody that struggles with conflict, seek some help, talk to somebody, like, work through that. because it doesn't just affect you. It affects your marriage. It affects your kids. It affects friendships. It affects so many different relationships in your life. And the sooner that you can get a handle on tackling conflict and conflict resolution in a healthy way, the better your life is going to be. Guaranteed. Promise. And lastly, pursuing your spouse, it just creates a joy and happiness. Like you are fulfilling your partner's needs and they are happy to be in their marriage. They're not one of those people that's like, oh, I'm married, and they're just unhappily married. And you can tell they're like, I am married and I love my spouse. Like I'm obsessed with them and whatever. Like that's the type of marriage that you want, where you love to be married, where you look forward to seeing your spouse every day, where you look forward to connecting with them, and you're creating a life that is healthy, that's important. You want to enjoy your spouse's company. You don't want to create a marriage where you're trying to escape. And I think that's what a lot of people are in, and a lot of people have created in their lives, is a marriage that they want to escape. And so with that being said, I have done a little bit of research and have compiled a list of date night ideas. So that way, in case your marriage and your date nights are a little stale, you all kind of do the same thing. You go to the same restaurant, you go to the movies, like you do, it's like copy paste, rinse and repeat. We have some ideas. We're going to go outside the box a little bit. So some of these date night ideas are going to seem a little repetitive or redundant, but there's some that just kind of have like a twist to it. So here's like the first section. It's more of like your classic date night ideas. So going to dinner and a movie. We love that. I don't do that often with my husband. We're not big movie people, but because we don't do it often, I think it'd be kind of fun and cute to do that. You could do a wine tasting or another alcoholic tasting or a mocktail. Go out for mocktails if you're not a drinker. Cooking together. This could be good or bad depending on what kind of person you are in the kitchen. So I hate cooking. It stresses me out. But if I'm cooking with somebody, I think I do better. And so this could be really fun, like just kind of picking a recipe or going to a cooking class. That's an idea. Another one is an outdoor picnic. So finding like a cute spot like in the park or some other random place where you can just like have a little picnic, like go grab sandwiches from your favorite sandwich shop or like pre-make your meal or whatever. Do like a little charcuterie board. We love that. Okay. So here are some like creative and unique date night ideas. So one of them is a themed night. So an idea like travel around the world with like food and activities from different cultures. So maybe you're having like an Asian themed night or you're having like an Indian themed night. That could be really fun and cute. In the same vein as theme night, you can pick a show or a movie and make or have a meal that like goes along with that movie and listen to the soundtrack while you're making the meal or eating the meal. You can dress up like the characters of the movie and just watch it together. I thought that was cute. I liked that idea. Another one is doing DIY projects together. Again, can make or break. You never know. Crafting or home improvement projects you can do together. I'm personally not the most crafty person or DIY person. And so this would probably like kind of annoy me, but it sounds cute. Like I think it's a cute idea and I think it'd be fun to try. Like the painting your spouse challenge that was all over TikTok was hilarious. I thought that was fantastic. I don't know that I necessarily want to do it, but I enjoyed watching other people do it. And so if you're a painter or not, like that could be really fun. Some of those paintings were wild. Another one is game night. So you could do board games or video games if you're into that. Like I swear I kick myself all the time, but if I still had my original Nintendo, I would be playing the heck out of Mario Brothers or Snow Brothers. Like tell me somebody is out there that knows what I'm talking about when I talk about Snow Brothers, because I used to play that all the time with my dad when I was little, and it was one of my favorite games outside of Mario Brothers. Or even just kind of making up your own games, or maybe putting some games into a basket and like randomly picking them out. I don't know. Could be fun. I personally like doing games and like puzzles. My husband's not super into it, so we don't really do it, but I like doing it. I grew up in a family that like we played games a lot. And I don't know, there's something kind of fun about it depending on the game. There's some games where that just completely, make me angry. So another one is stargazing. So, here in Vegas, it's kind of hard to like stargaze because of all the lights, but, you could take a little drive, like a 45-minute drive out to the middle of nowhere and kind of escape the city lights and do some stargazing. I've seen some really cute ideas on TikTok where if you have a truck, you could make the truck bed like a little bed and, with pillows and blankets and stuff like that and do something like that, which I thought was really cute. Another one is cake and or cookie decorating competition. I think this would be kind of fun. I am into this one and kind of want to do this myself. So some of these ideas are definitely things that I am jotting down as well. Another one that I've seen somebody on TikTok talk about is called ABC date nights. I'm new to this. I've just heard about this probably within the last couple of months, but basically you're picking places, activities, etc. that start with the letter A. So everything that you do starts with that letter for that night. And then the next date night is letter B. And then the next date night is letter C. So I thought that was kind of fun. And it's definitely like, it's unique. And you have to put some thought and intention to it, especially if you're getting to like some crazy letters like X or something like that. I don't know. And then another one, I want to do this one so bad. And I think I'm going to do this one for my husband, but the index card, like date night challenge. I freaking love watching those videos where, like you just give them the option, but it's like hidden, like they can't see it, but they get to pick. And then whatever their pick is, you do that, or you go there, you eat that. I don't know. I think it's fun. I think it's exciting. I think it's so cute. I want to do that. And I'm probably going to do that. If you are somebody that's on a budget, you can still do date night. It's still very easy. You just got to get creative sometimes. But you can do like an at-home movie night where you kind of create like this cozy atmosphere with some blankets, some snacks, some popcorns. Like, again, on TikTok. I swear TikTok is like where I'm getting all of my stuff from. It's like my new Google search engine. But have you guys seen those little like snackle boxes that people are making? And they're like, I think that they were originally used for like fishing. I could be so wrong, but they're just like this box that has all these little like things in them, and you can like just put a bunch of different snacks in there. I thought that was so cute. I love that. And you can just make like a little snack tray. You can set the mood lighting, pull out a mattress into like the loft or the living room, wherever your TV is, and just like have a cute little date night. If you have a fireplace and it's like cooler out, turn on that fireplace. Oh, I've done that before. It was so cute. I loved it. Another one is nature walks. Like just go outside and go hiking or like walk around the park, like grab a drink, grab, a snack or whatever, and like just go walk around the park and talk. Go get a cheap ice cream somewhere. Another idea that I saw was, free community events. So like checking out, what's going on around your city. Like in Vegas, like there's constantly free or cheap things to do here. So find something like fun or cool or just downright dumb and silly and just do that. Like maybe it's a terrible concert, but it's going to be hilarious, right? And then you can also like volunteer together. I've personally never done that. But you can find like different areas, different charities, different nonprofit organizations throughout your city that, could use a helping hand. Like maybe the animal shelter could be cute. I don't know. And then another one that I thought of was like just having like a little fast food date in the car. There's something about car conversations that just hit hard. Am I right? Like you can just drive somewhere, park in the parking lot, pull off to the side of the road, share your burger and fries, your milkshake, whatever it is, and just talk. Like there's something that just feels so good about a good car convo. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong on that one. And for my adventure and thrill seeking people, you can do like escape rooms. I personally have zero desire to do that, but there's a lot of people that do that, and there's a lot of different like escape rooms. You can go like hiking or kayaking or rock climbing or anything kind of crazy like that. Dance classes. You could try a dance class together, different styles like ballroom, salsa, hip hop. I could never. I wouldn't be able to stop laughing the entire time. I already know. Like I would be a lost cause there. Also, if you have like an amusement park in your area, oh my gosh, going to an amusement park would be so fun. Just a roller coaster ride and like just, I don't know. I think those are so fun. Like, I know this isn't like an adventure park, but Disneyland, I got to go a couple weeks ago and it's just so fun. It's so fun. I can't wait to like go by myself with my husband sometime and like just do that as like a little date night or date day. But yeah, I think that'd be really fun too. And if you're looking for something like romantic and intimate, something a little spicy, you could do like a spa night at home where you're creating like a relaxing spa experience. You're giving massages or pedicures or facials. Like I know my husband, like there were a few times where I gave him like a facial, like legit, like was like with my skincare, just giving him a facial. And he was like, that's so nice. Like he loved it. Doing a private dinner, like cooking them a really nice, special, extravagant meal with like candlelight and flowers and something cute like that. You can write each other like actually old fashioned, get out a piece of paper and a pen or a pencil and like write a letter. And then another thing that you could do is you can role play. Like if you guys go on a date out of the house or even in the house if you need to, if you're on a budget, like just role play. It's, I've tried to do it a few times and I cannot stop laughing every time I do it. Like I can't get into the character. I think I feel so awkward. Like even thinking about it now, I'm just like kind of cringing inside because it's funny to me, but I think it's like spicy, but I feel like I look dumb when I do it. And so I have a hard time getting into it. So I gotta move on. Basically that's all that I have for this. I hope that some of those date night ideas helped you. If you have any, put some down in the comments below. I'd love to hear them. Like we should get a whole list of date night ideas together and maybe I can make like a little PDF and give it to people or something. I don't know. But with all of this said, I want to make sure that you are like taking turns planning dates. It shouldn't all fall on one person. It is not one person's responsibility. And I'm preaching to the choir there because I tend to get a little lazy. I'm a little guilty of that. So I need to be better. But like your husband also needs you to plan the dates and pursue him too. And your wife definitely needs that as well. So never stop pursuing one another because your marriage is worth it. Your spouse is worth it. And this is where the real work is. Thank you so much for tuning into Basically a Therapist, but without the degree. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and like and share this episode with a couple that you think that this will help. And I will talk to you next week. Bye. Yeah. Beat that.